10 Cloverfield Lane. Now, before I start the review, I should probably mention, because I'm sure you guys can hear it, there's like, it's been raining like crazy, so if you can hear water dripping or like this random constant noise, it's water dripping right outside the window. And if I can hear it, I know the camera's picking it up like crazy, because it just loves to pick up all this extra noise instead of just my voice, so I'm sure that's going to be there in the background, but that's what that noise is if you hear like that constant kind of dripping noise. But just wanted to mention that before I started the official review. But I like this movie. I thought it was actually really cool. A very interesting, weird type of sequel, because that was the big thing about the movie. It's like, okay, well, is it a sequel to Cloverfield? Like, is it Cloverfield 2? And I like the way that they played it. I thought it was actually pretty fun. I thought, of course it's spoiler free, so I won't talk about anything specific that happened in the movie. But I like what they did with it. We have basically 3 characters, which my girlfriend really loved. Like, she hasn't seen a movie where it's like so few people. Like 4 people total in the entire movie, at least physically shown. I guess it would only be 5 if you count the woman. There's emergency messages and stuff. So that's really it. Like, a woman does an emergency message over the radio, and that's pretty much it. So like 5 people total, and then throughout the entire film. And I thought that was definitely a cool concept as well. I love the style of it because it's very weird, and I feel like the movie honestly does play out a lot like the trailer, which is kind of why it was such a good trailer. Like, it was like very suspenseful. It's like, what the heck is happening? Of course, before knowing it was a sequel, or if it was a sequel, or how it may or may not be a sequel, just to Cloverfield itself. It's like, alright, what in the world is happening here? Like, what's going on? Is this guy right? Is this guy wrong? Is this guy crazy? What's the deal? Something weird, it's like crazy stuff is happening. What is it? And I think the movie plays out the same way, where it's like, something's off. It's pretty clear. And then it's like, alright, things are crazy. Slight answers to the craziness, where it's like, alright, that makes sense. So now maybe not so crazy. And then it's just like, it still just continues to go back and forth, and you don't really know throughout the entire film what is and what isn't. So I really love the way that they played it out. I think John Goodman did a great job as, a crazy villain character. Like, I shouldn't say villain, but just like as a crazy character. He's not exactly a villain, but it's just like a weird character who starts off seemingly as a villain, and then, you get certain answers where it's like, maybe not, maybe so, because things are still really weird. You don't know all the answers. So I really liked that. I thought he did a great job as it. I think all the actors did really good jobs. I mean, the way they only had not even a handful of characters, so they had to do a good job, and I certainly think they did. Visually, I certainly enjoyed it as well, because they're trapped inside this little bunker through the movie, and it's just like, all right, we have a set location. Like, there are only so many things that we can really get to see. But they did it well. They utilized the area well. They change it up a little based on what they're doing, if they're eating or, watching something, playing a game or whatever. But I liked it. I really enjoyed this movie. It was a great suspense movie. Really, I think that was like the best part about it. Personally, I really like this one more than the original Cloverfield. It's hard to even compare them, because they're not even like the same movies. They're just like, it's Cloverfield and then 10 Cloverfield Lane, but they aren't really the same thing. They're not even remotely the same thing. They're just like it's almost like a comic book universe. You can have like one comic book that's like, the Avengers, or something simple like that, and then you have another comic book in the same universe that's almost like a horror comic book, but it's still within the Marvel universe. So it's almost like that, where it's like, the first thing is like just crazy over the top. It's like, just stuff, alien stuff. And then this one is just like, I don't know exactly, what's going on with it. And I really like that. I thought it was really good. Like I said, I enjoyed this one more. And I think it was because it was so suspenseful, and it was just like, it was just really cool getting these, little answers here and there, and then more questions will show up later on. So I think they did a great job with that. I think, and this isn't a spoiler because it is the sequel to Cloverfield. Having the aliens in the movie, I thought they did an interesting job with the way that they did that as well. So I like that too, and it was interesting because for my girlfriend, she hadn't seen Cloverfield, so she didn't know that it was aliens in general, so she wasn't sure at all. But I think even if you have, it doesn't really change it. She felt that it was better that she didn't know if it was aliens or not, but for me, and I guess it's because I'd seen the first one, it didn't matter, what it was. I knew that that wasn't the point of the film, and I was totally fine with it. I was curious to see how they at least kind of introduced that aspect, because I was curious how much we were in the bunker and how much we were out of the bunker, because even in the trailer they show some stuff where she's not in the bunker. So it's like, I don't know what part of the movie that plays in, but I assume it's in the beginning I assumed it because of the trailer, but once you watch it, it's like you never really know where certain stuff is going to show up. So I certainly enjoyed it. Of course, if you guys saw it, I definitely want to know what you guys think, so please put your comments down in the comment section below. Favorite parts about it, least favorite parts, as vague as you can be. I'm going to do a spoiler video, so if you want to save your comments for that, you can definitely do that, and then you don't have to worry about spoiling anything, and you can just talk about it there. But definitely want to know what you guys thought about this movie. If you haven't seen it and you check this review out, highly recommend it. It's definitely a really great suspense film. I thought it was really, really well done. And it was just cool. It was a fun movie. Definitely had some surprises in there that I was not expecting. I don't think anyone would have. But definitely a fun movie. I'm curious to see if they're going to do a third. Because it's almost like an anthology, like TV show type thing. Like almost like American Horror Story, where you have... It was slightly different than that, because it's more in the same universe rather than just same people. So, I don't know. I mean, if they wanted to, they could, but I don't know. Now, I'll talk more about that in my spoiler review. But like I said, definitely want to know what you guys thought about this movie, so please comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.